If someone snatched your sibling, not just someone, the beast, what would you do in this life to get them back? On this dark, dreary Halloween week, it's Wednesday. We got 2 more days to Halloween. What would you do to get back your sibling? Well, this indie game came across my desk, and I'm about to check it out.
Are you worried, Polly? Me too, but we always make it through, remember? Tonight, it all begins and ends. Don't be afraid. Just follow our plan, and then find me. They'll try to divide us. We are bound to each other, and no one can truly come between us. If they try, they'll regret it. But if you can't, if you really can't, then at least don't forget me, sis.
We got a lot to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. We got a lot to discuss. When it come to news, ain't no better than us. When it come to news, ain't no one you can trust. We got a lot to touch, so it's time to crush. So it's time to crush.
Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. And it's a magical Wednesday, hump day. We right there, moving closer and closer to the dreaded Halloween. As everybody gets their little setups all creepy and nice, I will do some stuff that is sure to bring a fright. I love those things that go bump in the night. Well, listen, if it's your first time finding the channel, this is me, the King, your new best friend. Now, if you like Xbox news, well, I'll bring that to you in spades. But if you like gaming news, well, then you reached the best place on the web. Now, listen, take my invitation, become a sub, share it out. I hit that like button. I like that. And also, hype up the video. Hype up. I don't even know what the hype button is, but hype it up. Is it like a hype man? Does somebody come out and throw like sprinkles and confetti at it? I don't know. But today we have a lot of news. Everybody's trying their damnedest to bury Xbox. That's not going to happen anytime soon, bucko. With Microsoft hitting $4 trillion, and we're going to talk about that in depth. But we're also going to talk about what Satya and Nadella, young Odin, said about the next generation Xbox and Microsoft and Xbox in general in the gaming space. Trust me, you don't want to miss today's episode. It puts kind of to bed all that stupid stuff that you've been hearing from all these channels that has been clickbaiting you, wanting to get your engagement, wanting you to fight back. Hey, I just told you to hold the line and everything is fine, but some people get crazy and lost their mind. Shout out to those people that are losing their damn cranium off of speculation, lies, and fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Over here on Xbox Frontline News, sorry, got to be a little bit more stoic. But let's get into these topics. The most realistic question that you can ask yourself with why Halo campaign evolved? Why now? Is it a cash grab? The same way I felt that Gears of War Reloaded was a cash grab for the PlayStation fan base, I believe that this is a cash grab as well. Now, don't get me wrong. It looks like a testing bed. I think with this, Xbox and Microsoft is planning two different strategies here. For the studio, is getting them acquainted with the Unreal Engine 5 engine. Now, the newly named, formerly 343 Studio, which is now Halo Studio, under new leadership, if you will, is under heavier scrutiny than ever before. And why not go to a beloved beginning in a year where you will be celebrating the anniversary of the becoming of Xbox, release the game that made the Xbox, in a sense. Whereas you're starting a new beginning into a new chapter of what Xbox has evolved into, which is kind of strange that it's actually being what it was supposed to be from the beginning. And we're going to touch more on that later. But the bigger question is Halo campaign evolved a cash grab? And in all intents and purposes, it's a cash grab based on the PC release of it. For some extent, the Xbox release of it. I think more for the Xbox, it's more of propping up an old hero. You know how they bring out like veterans on Veterans Day and have them come out to get that nostalgia feel to it while honoring them as well. I think that for the Xbox community, bringing Halo back an Unreal Engine 5 and treading all over again that story with different vantage points on some aspects will invoke some type of a nostalgia for those people that have been there, and for the newer people, introduce them to who Master Chief is and start the foundation of what you're trying to build with Halo Studios from there. But for the larger intent is introducing Halo Campaign Evolved and the Master Chief universe to the PlayStation fan base who may not, or older Xbox people that migrated over to the PlayStation in the past generation and this generation, introduce them back to Halo, and for the newer people, introduce them to what the franchise is and set up a leaping off point, if you will, of what the new adventures will be. But ultimately, I don't know how you slice it. I don't know if you agree with me in what it is and what this title is becoming more and more as I look at it. It's a cash grab. They're capitalizing on the nostalgia of the title, and they're capitalizing on the newness of the title, while at the same time giving Halo Studios the ability to learn and master the Unreal Engine 5 engine. So again, it was just my thoughts, and I want to know what you guys think. Is it more of a cash grab, or if it's more of a testing bed for Halo Studios, or if it's a combination of the two with a little bit of throwing that PlayStation into it, that, people will grow and love that. Since 2019, Microsoft and OpenAI have been on this, how can you call it? You can say it's a shared journey. OpenAI wanting their independence. They used to be tied to Elon Musk. That changed. Elon turned around to sue them. And the company tried to mutinize against Sam Altman. You remember that brief stints when he was an employee of Microsoft. Satya Nadella swooped in, young Odin, if you will, and grabbed him up immediately to gain his knowledge, to use his vast knowledge in AI, to use that to boost Copilot while offering Bing. They gave a substantial amount of money to have a shadow seat on the board over at OpenAI, only to recuse that seat later, and then they decided to have a parting of ways very early on. But that was very short-lived because Microsoft wind up suing OpenAI, and they went into litigation in court because of the stipulations of the proceeds that were given to OpenAI in the beginning of the contract and deal with Microsoft. Well, now they have gone public with OpenAI moving forward with the formation of a publicly beneficial corporation, a PBC, if you will, to recapitalization. And following that recapitalization, Microsoft holds an investment in OpenAI PBC Group valued at approximately 136 billion, representing roughly 27% on as converted diluted basis, inclusive of all owners, employees, investors, and OpenAI Foundation. So Microsoft's and Satya Nadella's incredible foresight in pairing up with OpenAI, and this goes far. We'll be talking about this in the gaming space based on the stuff that we do know. But his initial investment in seeing OpenAI as a strategic partner in the AI cloud infrastructure, while also pairing up with Anthropic and other heavyweights inside the AI industry. Microsoft has positioned itself as one, if not the most important competitor in the growing AI future. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, young Odin, affectionately called here on this channel, had a lot of choice words to talk about on the TBPN network. Now, he got a chance to sit down with them and go over all the stuff that's happening. The stuff that's happening with OpenAI, the stuff that's happening and transforming in the ecosystem, as far as how they're redefining coming from server-based to cloud-based to AI-based, and what those dynamics mean. But also touching on how the Xbox division is kind of the future of the company, and how he's looking forward to the hardware that they're developing in-house and bringing to the masses. How he sees this as an integral part to the strategy of AI, cloud, and server-based games. Being with Xbox, making it the place to be. Now, Satya did touch on a couple of other things in this interview, as far as he wants all the games everywhere on all platforms. And it's not about consoles, because consoles aren't the indicator of health. It's the software. So, as we delve deeper into this incredible interview, I will give you that as we talk about it.
On the topic of changing business model, shifting your business model, it seems like the console wars are over. Take me through the journey.
You're a peacetime CEO now.
You're a peacetime CEO. The war's over. But
Do you know a lot of times people try to get you to believe that there isn't some imaginary yet physical, tangible console war in place? But the moment the rhetoric around the console war is supposedly over, and if you continue to watch this interview, I'm going to give you a lot more insight. You'll realize a lot of things that anyone that's telling you that you should stop console warring and stuff like that, it's these big companies that are. It's not us. It's them. And on the side of them, then internally and or externally, we argue and fight.
But take me through the evolution of the business model shift on the gaming side of the business. It's one of the most interesting pieces of Microsoft.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to remember, in fact, Flight Simulator, I think, was the first product Microsoft built, even before, I think, our DevTools was first.
Yeah.
Flight Simulator was second.
That says so much about the culture.
Yeah, it is.
It's just like, as soon as you gave the developers the ability to write code, they were like, let's make a game. It's amazing.
And so, to me, remember, the biggest gaming business is the Windows business.
Yeah.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
Now, some will say that it's a Freudian slip, but it's not a Freudian slip. If you think about it, Phil Dominus Maximus Aurelius Spencer is head of Microsoft Games. Microsoft Games is incumbents of Windows. He's talking about Windows, and he's talking about Windows' first game. And in that talking about Windows, Windows was before Xbox. That's how they launched it. I honestly believe that Satya, not having video games sensibilities, is a stoic. Completely stoic down the line, and he's not tied to those idiosyncrasies, those dogmas that we are tied to. He's not tied to that. That slip of the tongue indicates that he sees gaming as gaming, regardless of the brand, long as it's under the Microsoft brand. That in itself is letting you know how he thinks.
To us, gaming on Windows.
Yeah.
And of course, Steam has built a massive marketplace on top of it and done a very successful job of it. So to us, the way we are thinking about gaming is, first of all, now we're the largest publisher after the Activision. So therefore, we want to be a fantastic publisher, similar approach to what we did with Office.
Yeah.
We're going to be everywhere in every platform. So we want to make sure, whether it's consoles, whether it's the PC, whether it's mobile, whether it's cloud gaming, or the TV. So we just want to make sure the games are being enjoyed by gamers everywhere.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to chase after them?
It gets no damn clearer than that. If you were ever on the fence trying to figure out what are they, listen, I got merch in the store. It says third party before dishonor. Death before dishonor. That merch is inside the stores. I've been telling you for over a year now exactly what it was. Now, that's as clear as it's going to be. Everywhere. They want to be on every screen. Everywhere. It doesn't matter the console. It doesn't matter the TV. It doesn't matter the device. When I'm talking about absolute domination, this is what it's about. And if you think this $4 trillion company is playing any games, he's sitting right in front of you, telling you he's about to run it up on you bums.
Second, we also want to do innovative work in the system side, on the console and on the PC. And bring, it's kind of funny that, people think about the console, PC as two different things. We built the console because we wanted to build a better PC, which could then perform for gaming. And so I kind of want to revisit some of that conventional wisdom. But at the end of the day, console has an experience that is unparalleled. It delivers performance that's unparalleled. That pushes, I think, the system forward. So I'm really looking forward forward to, the next console, the next PC gaming. But most importantly, the game business model has to be where we have to invent maybe some new interactive media as well. Because after all, the gaming's competition is not other gaming.
So the guy that you know that is an absolute in charge of where Xbox goes is telling you that in this space, they look forward to innovating, to changing, to pushing everything forward. And listen, financially, that's not going to come cheap. So we already know that. They had Sarah out there to give you the bad news about it being a premium device and what that's going to entail. You had Phil coming out there letting you know that it's going to be a console. But you have Satya doubling down on that, but letting you know that he looks forward to the next console, the next PC/console innovation. Listen, Xbox has always been Windows/Xbox. It has always been that. And in doing so, they are pushing the industry further than anyone else.
Gaming's competition is short form video. And so if we as an industry don't continue to innovate, both how we produce, what we produce, how we think about distribution, the economic model, right? Best way to innovate is to have good margins.
And if you thought you was going to get out of this interview without touching on that 30%, you need to have good margins. We're not around here being mediocre. You don't become a $4 trillion company with coming out with poo-poo garbage. You have to put your best foot forward. Now, if you're upset with a company putting these high expectations on their developers, then that's on you. If you expect the best from your family, from your friends, if you surround yourself with the best, then the best results is going to happen, right? Well, what you do is give yourself the best opportunity for these things to happen. The moment that you tolerate weakness, mediocre stuff, then that's what you're going to get out of this life. Again, a lot of your people being upset with them talking about 30%. Well, listen, maybe if they held themselves to a higher standard, then things would get done, right? I'm just saying. A higher standard is necessary. And like he said, they're willing to spend that bread, but are you willing to work for it?
Because that's the way you can fund.
So interesting saying gaming's competition is short form video. It feels like the entire world's competition is short.
And they just reiterate the talking points of Matt Booty, not to be left out of that three-headed dragon scenario. Listen. The competition isn't each other because they're fighting over the same fan base, and the same fan base is fighting over the engagement of others outside of the ecosystem. The PlayStation used to be a competitor. Microsoft and Xbox, the Xbox brand has escaped that, if you will. Remember when Nintendo decided not to be a competitor to the other two and we thought they were wacky, but they went on to thrive? Well, Microsoft and Xbox has shed that old skin, that console warring skin, and is thriving like no other. So the aspect of individuals saying that Xbox is dead, no, it's really that their console warrior inside them died. They no longer have the talking points to fight whoever online based upon the level of ignorance that's being displayed from the stuff that you see. You get a chance to see a ton of videos of people saying Xbox is dead. It's far from it, buddy. Far from it. They're going after TikTok. They're going after engagement. And they're going to be very, very aggressive in how they approach going after your engagement. In an article brought to you by Bloomberg, Jason Schreier goes into the deep, significant cuts over at Amazon. Now, 14,000, that's 14,000 jobs have been cut or reduced in some form. Amazon is eliminating more than 14,000 corporate jobs, including significant role reductions in its video game division. The company will reduce work on big budget titles, particularly massive multiplayer online games, and is leaning into things that Amazon does best. Amazon will continue to develop and release certain games, including March of the Giants, a new Tomb Raider title, and casual AI-focused games for the cloud gaming service Luna. Now, in an industry wrought with turbulence and AI taking over massive jobs, we see Amazon that jumped into the fray. It seemed to be backing away, and they no longer have an appetite for producing, making games, and placing them into the marketplace. With companies like Crystal Dynamics under their belt, Steve Voom, Vice President of Audio of Twitch Games, said the memo received by Bloomberg that the company is leaning into things that Amazon does best. Now, what does that actually mean? With titles that are already bought and paid for, those titles will make it to the light of day. Maverick Games has continued to work on its racing title, while Crystal Dynamics has continued to work on their Tomb Raider title. Amazon has been trying to crack into the industry for more than a decade, but has struggled to make a dent. And it seems like it had a few hits with Lost Ark, a Korean game the company published in the Western markets. The cutbacks is going to hit deep. They're moving away from online games such as New World, which reached more than 900,000 concurrent players on PC for Steam following its release in 2021. Amazon had also been working on a MMO based on Lord of the Rings, but as of this writing, that is up in the air. It seems that Amazon wants to take their ball and leave. They want to continue to make AI games instead of putting actual people to work. I told you before, during this AI revolution, the first thing to go is the workforce of human labor. This should garner a ton of outrage. This should be exactly where the fight is. But I'm sure a bunch of you hypocrites are going to be in the comments and don't say a damn thing about this while touting Xbox letting go 600 people and that massive layoff over at Microsoft, where only 600 left on the Xbox division. You won't talk about the 14,000 at the worst time of the year for this to happen. This is why I tell you this end of the year is horrible. One of the features I'm most excited about with the new Xbox is the departure from paying to play multiplayer games online. Now, I think it was one of the commenters, one of the followers that left this comment, and it said that the reason for Microsoft raising the price on Game Pass was they knew that they were going to get rid of multiplayer paying for online. And pretty much that's the games with gold mantra, the old games with gold. And we always was trying to figure out how they're going to make up that difference. Well, if raising it $10 makes up that difference, and then that feature is kind of, listen, it's a shiesty way to roll, free multiplayer in, if you will. So if you think about it, it's not really free, right? They just rolled it into the price, basically, and you got multiplayer. Now, I want to know if the device itself would allow you to play free-to-play games that are multiplayer-based without having a subscription to Game Pass. I think that is the bigger question that I have, right? If you purchase a game and it has multiplayer, are you able to just go ahead and play it? Because you can't entice a PC player to get in if that barrier of entry is still present. So I think hopefully that is addressed, right? Because right now it's just rumors and speculation, but that's a big sticking point to entice the PC gamer. The console gamer itself, we have always had Game Pass or kind of had something the equivalent to play multiplayer, and we have been conditioned that way. Whereas PC has been conditioned the opposite way. So again, talking about the next gen Xbox will remove the modern gaming's worst feature, which is pay to play online. Hopefully this is true, but hopefully there is an absolute answer to this, speaking to the talking heads over at Microsoft, because I want to know this question more so than any other true question, to be honest with you. Pacific Drive has dropped inside Game Pass day one, but it's also released on the PlayStation 5. So if you happen to own a PlayStation 5, you can go out and buy this game. Now, it's being touted as a masterpiece. It's a horror game. It's a survival horror game. And it's just how you want it to be during the week of Halloween. So if you have Xbox Ultimate, you definitely have the game. Now, the game right now is a solid 7 out of 10. But people are saying that it's a 9.5 out of 10. Now, I want to know what you rate Pacific Drive. Do you happen to have a PlayStation? Do you happen to have an Xbox? How did you consume this title? Was this title brought to you by friends, or was something that popped up that you said, let me check it out? Because it's a 79 on Metacritic right now. And there's a lot of people that gave it perfect scores. I want to know, what did you rate the game? This game is sure to polarize the fan base. I want to know, did you play it? Did you end it? Did you stop? Were you in the middle of the game? Because the game looks good, horrifyingly good, but it still looks good. As PlayStation further distanced themselves from the high-priced PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 5 Pro, a rumor suggests that the PlayStation Portal would allow cloud streaming of purchased digital games soon. Sony is reportedly looking to update the PlayStation Portal to allow users to stream their purchased digital games via the cloud for players subscribed to PlayStation Plus Premium, according to a non-removed line text spotted by a user on Reddit. The PlayStation Portal currently offers a number of PlayStation 5 games and classics that are able to be streamed via the PlayStation Plus, but this suggests that you'll now be able to purchase titles from the PlayStation Store and begin streaming from the get-go without having the PlayStation 5 in the equation. I've told you before, PlayStation has long wanted to shed themselves of that cumbersome console. With the thoughts of having a new handheld in the wild that it will be able to download games locally to the device, it pretty much will look like the PlayStation Portal Plus, a device that you're able to take on the go with downloaded games that you'll be able to stream and play digital games and do everything. For that, I think that thing will come in close to probably $500. It probably might undercut the Switch 2. But in eliminating the PlayStation 5 necessity, do they even bother with a PlayStation 6? Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know what it is. I'm going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. And if you're idiotic to believe anything other than what I'm telling you, keep on watching the videotape. There's no need to make a costly system when you can have a device, have a dock for it, and have it plugged right up into the TV. And it will sell boatloads of this. This will effectively undercut the PlayStation 6. The prophecy is almost complete. Now, it seems like Xbox and Microsoft can't be stopped. It seems like they are on an unprecedented run in gaming that hasn't been seen for I don't know when. As they become the largest publisher in gaming history with the acquisition of Blizzard, Xbox journalists say that Microsoft has another showcase planned for November 2025. Now, This is brought to you by Ben Kerry of Pure Xbox. And they go into talking about how there's another showcase this November highlighting Play Anywhere titles. It will be a major focus. Now, we saw in the ID at Xbox that a lot of those games were Play Anywhere and day one on Game Pass. With Play Anywhere playing a larger focus on the Xbox ecosystem, giving anyone who has purchased an Xbox ROG Ally or Xbox ROG Ally X the opportunity to play all these digital games any way that they want to play them. Be it on the go, be it at home, be it on your PC. Play Anywhere needs to be Ultimate Play. It needs to be called Ultimate Play because it's the ultimate way to play. But I guess they don't want to link it to Ultimate Game Pass. I understand. But there will be a developer direct this November highlighting a ton of Play Anywhere titles. And being that that is the emphasis going forward, Microsoft has a leg up on the competition. When the competition can only distribute to one area, and then maybe the PC at a later date. I predict that the PlayStation will start shipping day and date on PC just to keep pace. But if you know what that means, you know if it ships day and date on PC, well, what sense is it having a PlayStation? Because it'll be shipping day and date on Xbox. Now, Lulan the Curse Sands is brought to the PlayStation 5 due to the China project. Now, the China Hero project. But get this. This is how smart Xbox and Microsoft is. They know that this title is going to be on the PlayStation 5 and the PC. And being that this title, this indie title, was brought to the marketplace due to the China Hero project from PlayStation, that means it will not be launching day one on the Xbox. To get around that, Xbox has devised a plan. Well, not only will the same day you're able to play it on your PlayStation and your Steam library, if you have an Xbox ROG Ally X, this game will be launching for you. You heard me right, folks. I told you, Xbox had a workaround the whole time. There was nothing that was going to stop them for having all the same amount of fun that you do. Remember, when we all play, we all win. Now, this game actually looks really fun. Lulan looks like it's the new age God of War. It looks so God of War-ish, even David Jaffe in his latest post talked about it. This is kind of what I wanted 2018 God of War to look like, to be honest with you. A little bit more set pieces, a little bit more action. That's what I'm looking for. Not that over-the-shoulder, boy, clear a room, move to the next, clear a room, move to the next. None of that stuff. What I wanted, what this thing shows, and it shows a traversity about, sliding through the doors as sand. As far as action, it shows many different parrying skills. The game looks fantastic to me. It looks like a toy game, like a game of toys come to life. And they just reiterate the talking points of Matt Booty, not to be left out of that three-headed dragon scenario. Listen, the competition isn't each other because they're fighting over the same fan base, and the same fan base is fighting over the engagement of others outside of the ecosystem. The PlayStation used to be a competitor. Microsoft and Xbox, the Xbox brand has escaped that, if you will. Remember when Nintendo decided not to be a competitor to the other two and we thought they were wacky, but they went on to thrive? Well, Microsoft and Xbox has shed that old skin, that console warring skin, and is thriving like no other. So the aspect of individuals saying that Xbox is dead, no, it's really that their console warrior inside them died. They no longer have the talking points to fight whoever online based upon the level of ignorance that's being displayed from the stuff that you see. You get a chance to see a ton of videos of people saying Xbox is dead. It's far from it, buddy. Far from it. They're going after TikTok. They're going after engagement. And they're going to be very, very aggressive in how they approach going after your engagement. And now that you've made it to this part of the video, that's a dope thing. We had a lot to unpack today. I mean, we got a chance to hear from the beginning of last week all the way up to this week. We got a chance to hear Phil, Sarah, Matt, now Satya, all confirming next generation Xbox hardware, all confirming the strategic placement of where the company is, with the full backing of Microsoft, which has just achieved becoming a $4 trillion company, only behind NVIDIA as the global leader as far as money goes, the number one company, with NVIDIA being a $5 trillion company. Microsoft Xbox brand, Microsoft Windows, they all factor in to the whole. You heard Satya say when they had to change the server business into an AI cloud-based business because they was renting out servers and stuff like that before, and that business model changed on a dime, and instead of collapsing, they adapted, grew, and went further than ever anticipated. With partnerships with OpenAI up to, I think it's 2035, and having access to that AI model, with also having access to larger AI models in other areas. It seems like Microsoft is positioning themselves to dominate with the insatiable hunger and, dare I say the word, greed, in order to gain more in the gaming space. I don't see anything stopping Microsoft and Xbox's ambition. With games abound all over the place, I honestly see them purchasing a couple of more studios. Now, Crystal Dynamics springs to mind with Amazon's recent departure from the gaming space. There's plenty of developers, and they're actively pursuing WB at the moment. And if they can wrap those deals up before the November partnership and, showcase, the direct, then going forward into next year, you have a different level of productivity, if you will. With the complete absorption of ABK into the whole of everything that is Microsoft, now we realize that the ambitions was truly greater than anybody can ever truly imagine. People's been played like a fiddle. And thinking that Xbox was dead, imagine assuming that a $4 trillion company that isn't the number one space to buy laptops still makes Surfaces because they're comfortable with the niche that the Surface has garnered. With staying in that area of silicon, Microsoft doubles down on making sure that hardware in the console space and on your TVs, which was very important, as Satya said, it's important to them, it's important to him, and it's important to the company as a whole because Xbox is a pillar in the company. We're holding people accountable with that 30% margin that they have to aspire to get to. That's setting goals inside a company, which is only healthy. If you set yourself to high standards, then high standards would follow. And these last couple of Xbox games that has come out, well, let me tell you, keep up with the high standards. Because today, if you didn't know, today is the day that you get a chance to play Outer Worlds 2. Now, I know you're saying, King, they just recently gave us Ninja Gaiden 4. No, sir, or madam, they just gave us Keeper. You see, there's so many different games that they drop down inside Game Pass and the Xbox, and go check out Ball Pit. It's the service that keeps on giving. No matter how you game, no matter where you game, no matter why you game, they have something for you. If you want to stream, then you can do that. If you want to download, play native, then you could do that. If you want to sit down at your console, you could do that. Wherever you are gaming wise, Xbox will be there. So if this doesn't give you the peace of mind as an Xbox gamer, then I don't know what will. But my digital library is attached. My digital self is attached to Xbox, and I will always be there. So this is Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. If you liked anything in the video today, please like, follow, and subscribe. Share it out. Give it to your friends. And if you so want to become a member, then become a member, because they keep the lights on, and I appreciate each and every last one of you. I go live on Saturdays, so y'all get a chance to jump in and have a conversation. Now, there's a misnomer out there that I'm asking for debates. I don't care for a debate. If you want to jump in and talk about video games, we could talk in and jump about video games. I don't care to debate anybody's opinion on anything that is a hobby. A hobby is something that you do in recreational form. This is not anything that's serious. So if anybody think that I'm looking for debates, i.e. you, Linda, get off yourself, because no, that's not the case. But if anybody wants to talk video games, you will have something to say that's important, or you have something to say that you want to get off your chest based upon the fact that, video games is a conversational piece. Well, this is Xbox Frontline News, and you're able to do that. So I'm going to do what I tell y'all to do, what I always try to do, and try to play the Game Pass.
Play it day one with Game Pass.